The Federal Treasurer has been caught up in running battles that erupted in the heart of Melbourne today after student protesters defied police.
As a result of a violent student protest in central Melbourne this
afternoon. There have been dozens of ugly clashes in central Melbourne between police and university students as a lunchtime protest march suddenly turned violent.
Lunchtime brawls on the city streets. Tertiary students incensed at proposed funding cuts. Police determined to keep public order.
With claims of violence from
police
both
officer
sides.
just punched me in the head and then slapped me across the face, scratched down here.
Most people here are shocked at the response. The protest was okayed by the police. Out of nowhere they started attacking us.
They have provoked us. They've stormed into our demonstration, brutalised people, taken them away, and now they've taken them to their lockup.
They knew that was a planned part of our demonstration. It had been advertised. We had a police liaison person from the Victorian Education Action Network who had talked to them about the fact that we were collecting shoes. And it was a symbolic display of our attitude to this inquiry and the fact that we want to defend education against Abbott and Pyne's attacks.
And police had to come to the rescue of Federal Treasurer Joe Hockey.
I was bigger than most of the protesters. In my days, the protests were far more formidable and more excitable.
The students had earlier set fire to an effigy of the
PM was set alight. Protesters levelling claims of brutality at police.
Our protest was called against the government, the Abbott government, and the fact that they've set up this inquiry into education and have let a number of things slip in the last few weeks about what their plans are for higher education. And the protest had been okayed by the Victoria Police beforehand as well, as part of the National Union of Students, but also the Victorian Education Action Network, that this inquiry is a sham inquiry, that it's being set up to justify further attacks on our education. So that was why we were protesting today, and the police attacked us unprovoked for protesting.
Now, the protest began with about 100 people here on the front steps of Parliament, and they made their way through the city, bringing much of it to a standstill, and of course having police pull out all stops just to keep up with them.
And actually the police, who were about 200 in number compared to our about 100 in number, were violently moved in on us when we were not even throwing shoes.
Yes, there were 5 arrests made, 3 men and 2 women after today's violent clashes, and they're still in police custody.
4 people are facing charges.
3 men and a woman are facing charges, including assaulting police and recklessly causing injury.
We understand that there were about 8 arrests
Police
made.
tell us that 4 people have now been charged over today's protests. Charges that they'll face include assault and recklessly causing injury.
After being attacked at the Liberal Party headquarters and 2 of our members being arrested, one while she was unconscious. She had been made unconscious by the police, I assume. She was in the scuffles, and the first I saw of her being dragged out, she was unconscious. She wasn't responding to me when I called her name. So we called an ambulance, but the police denied her medical attention. They said that they could not give her the ambulance would not be allowed access because she was under arrest.
Well, this small but vocal group have now been moved on by police. They have vowed to continue the fight.
The students were determined to make it to Swanston Street Police Station to lodge a complaint. The police, though, were just as determined to stop them.
We attempted to go to the police station to make a complaint about police brutality.
Get back!
The rally ending when the group retreated to the safety of the RMIT University cafeteria. Mel street cleaners have just finished wiping off the last of the protesters' chalk scrawlings here on the front steps of Parliament as police now begin to investigate how today escalated so dramatically.
Our protest was extremely peaceful. Any of the footage that you see will show that. Was certainly how I felt.
Sarah, hang on. Hang on a second. Don't just keep talking, okay?